I love Pokemon, and don't get me wrong, Pikachu is pretty powerful and pretty cool, but he's also very cute, and I feel like that undermines his Mon part. What do I mean by Mon? That makes absolutely no sense. Well, he's a Pokemon, and he's got a lot more of the Poke, which stands for pocket, and not much of the monster, which is what the Mon is. This is not making any sense. I'm gonna chirp. This is a terrible intro. G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and as I very ineloquently tried to explain in my horrible intro, today I'm gonna take the monster part of Pokemon and amplify that. Now, Pokemon, as I tried to explain, stands for Pocket Monster. So the pocket bit, I think, is really what entails the cuteness of these creatures and one of the reasons we love them so much. But I think that there is hidden inside these Pokemon the power to really be monsters. So I'm gonna have a bit of fun with some of the cutest Pokemon I can think of today. And the first one is Pikachu, because I mean, I think he's realistically the first Pokemon that comes to mind when people think of Pokemon. I mean, let's be honest, if I say Pokemon, you probably don't immediately think of Mr. Mime. Or maybe you do. He's pretty cool. Anyways, Pikachu is a very iconic Pokemon. He's very cute, and one, as you can probably tell, that I kind of like. So I'm gonna start off with him, and I'm gonna see how monstrous I can make him. So to get started, I wanted a reference on my left of the original Pokemon, and I also thought it would be fun to have the original and cute Pokemon looking at the horrific, monstrous Pokemon that I was going to draw. So I started off by creating Pikachu on the left here, had a few references and Google images open in my browser, and was pretty happy with the outcome of the pose. And the steps I followed for creating the art are the same as for the big Pokemon, except they're a lot quicker when they're the small, cute character and I have references. Namely, going through and creating a construction sketch, going over with the line work and then erasing the sketch, filling in with the core colors and then some various shades and blending, and then adding a slightly thicker outline around the character and a shadow at the base of their feet to create a really solid looking character. So moving on to the monstrous design for Pikachu, I played around quite a bit, and as you can see, changed things as I go until eventually I just decided to start again. I wasn't happy with how things were evolving, and I really wanted the character to look a little more muscular and beefy, but also for the shape and silhouette and general pose of the character to be somewhat similar, with a slightly wide stance and a rough mimicry in the silhouette, even though obviously the monstrous character is looking very different as I go on. When I finally had my rough design in a place I was happy with it, I move on to the line work, creating the imagery with a 0.2 fine liner and adding a few details as I go, like some scars and scratches and some details in the fur to create a bit of a cool textured effect. I wanted this character to look more gritty, so I didn't go with the golden yellows of the original Pikachu. I went for a little bit more of a mustard, desaturated look. There are a few things you want to do if you create a monstrous character and want that gnarly aesthetic, and one of them is to desaturate. You don't want too many bright and bubbly, colourful colours. So erring on the side of desaturated and more detail is always going to add a bit more of grunge to your illustration. Lastly, with the different layers of colours blended in and the various different tones added, I go around the entire character with my thicker fine liner until I'm happy with the outcome. So here he is, the monstrous Pikachu. I really love the way this one turned out, although I gotta be honest, he's not looking very rodent-y. I can come in here and maybe add some whiskers, just do this. Although, I don't know, does that make him look more like a dog or cat? I don't know. Anyways, he's done. There he is. He's definitely looking monstrous. I struggled with the cheek thing because, you know, he has those very bright red cheeks and he has the sparks of the electricity or whatever. And I thought in the end the way I could have that bright red there and not make it look cutesy is perhaps if the flesh was constantly raw and torn, maybe because that's a conduit for his electric powers. So it could look kind of gnarly. And I don't know, that's the direction I went in. I also have a scar elsewhere on him just to show that it's different, that he has a wound, but this is like a constantly raw thing. I don't know, I thought I'd play with that. But overall, I think he definitely looks very monstrous, and it's fun putting the really cute, familiar version of Pikachu next to the monstrous Pikachu, because I think you, first of all, draw the immediate parallel that it's meant to be a monstrous Pikachu, but also really emphasizes the visual differences of them, and I think it's really enjoyable. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm gonna do one more. While Pikachu is super cute, I do think that there is a Pokemon that's even cuter. I mean, to be fair, there's probably a few that are even cuter than Pikachu, but I think the Pokemon that comes to mind for me personally as the most disgustingly cute Pokemon is Togepi. You guys know Togepi. I mean, I can't even do the voice because it's so cute and little and... No, that's... Okay, I should stop doing that. And I'm going to enjoy seeing if I can take Togepi and somehow transform this cute little Pokemon into a horrific and horribly horrifying monster. No Pokey, just Mon. Mon doesn't sound very intimidating. Let's stick with monster. So as before, we start off with a sketch and reference of our Togepi character on the left of the page looking up at the monstrous version of Togepi. I had a lot of fun actually making this cute little version of Togepi looking as horrified as possible, which is still adorable, but in the context of what I'm going to create, hopefully gonna look a little bit shocked and create a really fun contrast between the two aesthetics. Now obviously I'm really limited here in what I can do with the new Togepi design because the original Togepi, the cute Togepi, is basically just half an egg with a little cutesy face poking out. I go forward thinking of it almost as like a dinosaur egg hatching with a really gross, slimy, wrinkly looking character coming out. That ugly, wrinkly look that some weird looking newborn birds look like before they have their feathers, but even grosser. Again, I go with more desaturated tones for the skin tone of the character and then add a little bit of a khaki tinge of color. The egg has the same base tone for the egg color, but I use a less obvious blue and red for the patterns on the shell and add blotchy, alien looking shapes and symbols rather than the simple cutesy shapes that are on the original Togepi shell. Furthermore, I create a bit of a washed out look that also adds a nice texture by smothering the egg and the patterns in a colorless blender, which makes it all look sort of blended into itself and really nice and blotchy and faded. This creates a really cool egg-like texture. It also makes sure that the colors and shapes don't pop out too much or look too cutesy. Last but not least, I go around the whole character with a thicker fine liner and add some shadows around the feet to go for that really cool solid look. And there it is. It was hard, to be honest, to translate just the perfectly round shape of Togepi into a monster, but I feel like going with that really gooey aesthetic of something that maybe is coming out of an egg is kind of fun. I don't know what the body inside the egg looks like. I sort of don't want to know. And I had fun sort of with little touches like having the shapes and colors around the shell looking more like alien symbols and things that emphasize the otherworldly, eerie, creepy monster factor of Togepi. Again, I didn't have much to work with in terms of the actual body shape, but I feel like given the constraints, I'm happy with how it turned out. And you can see my results next to each other. I feel like if I went through and redesigned all of the Pokemon like in this sort of aesthetic, you could make a badass sort of like game or world. Like, I think it would be pretty cool in a very different way to the traditional Pokemon. That being said, I want to know how you think I went. Did I successfully make them monstrous enough, or did I miss the mark a bit? Could I take it a step further? And beyond that, what cute Pokemon would you like to see the monstrous sides emphasized and over-exaggerated like I've done here? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video, and of course if you enjoyed this video, I have done other videos around themes like this. There was one character design where I designed a Pokemon based on the suggestions of the live stream that I did it with. So if you enjoyed this video and you love Pokemon, go check that out. Otherwise, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to Draw with Jazza. I have fun with art and loads of other stuff here, so hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell and make sure to stick around for next time. But until then, I'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind the scenes daily vlog channel, Daily Jazza. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.